When we heard about champagne gummies, we thought we have to make our own luxe version, and why not? They're a great way to get the party started, and anything with champagne is awesome. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make our base, which is a strawberry base, and then we're going to add our champagne to that and set it in some molds. I've got some strawberries here, and we're going to cook them down in a saucepan with some sugar. And then we've got the juice of a lemon and an orange. Give them a good roll before you cut them. That way all the juices are going to be released, and make sure you squeeze out all that juice. Pour straight in. And then just some water as well to loosen it up. So we're going to cook that down until it's nice and jammy for about 20 minutes. So in order to form gummies, we need to use a lot of gelatin, and they'll become stable at room temperature as well. So while that's almost cooked down, I'm going to soak this gelatin in some cold water and then add it to the hot mixture. So you can see this mixture of the strawberries is cooked down and it's really nice and jammy. So turn off the heat, and while that mixture is still nice and hot, grab that soaked gelatin. See, it's nice and soft, and just wring out some of that excess water and get that inside. And now just stir that gelatin into the hot mixture until it's completely dissolved. Strain that mixture and make sure you push through all the mixture using your spatula. Now we're going to let that cool slightly just before we add the champagne to it. If we add it now, the alcohol is going to burn off, and then I see no point in making champagne lollies if there's no booze in it. So we've got the real ingredient here. This is the best sound in the world. The good thing about this recipe, it only uses 1 cup of champagne, which leaves another 500 mils for you. Add the champagne and then gradually mix it in. And we'll just wait a couple of minutes for those bubbles to die down, and then we can pour it into our molds. So to get the shape for these gummies, I'm using some of these silicone molds you can get from any kitchen shop. Alternatively, you can just set the mixture in a tray and cut it up afterwards. And we're just gonna use a jug to pour in the mixture, which will make it a bit easier. All the way to the top, because they won't expand as they chill. So this mixture makes enough for another tray, so just repeat that. But what we're going to do with each of them is we're going to put in a small edible rose petals. So just take each of the petals and just push them inside, pushing them down so they reach the other side of the dome. Okay, so once all those petals have been pushed down, you can now get your trays into the fridge for about 2 hours until they're set, and then we can pop them out. Okay, so those are nice and set in their molds, and we can do the proper unveiling now. So you just take your molds and carefully remove each of the gummies. I'm just going to place it on the baking paper so they won't stick, and make sure the dome side is facing up. So just release all of those now. Try and be patient, because if you rush, you'll see they'll stick, but then you can just eat it. So they've all been unmolded, and you can see you've got the beautiful rose on the top. So you can keep these now in the fridge or in a really cool place. They're quite stable. But if you want to serve them up, it's quite nice if you can serve them up in some champagne glasses. And as a final garnish, I've got some extra dried rose petals and also some freeze-dried strawberries, just to garnish them just before you serve. So if you take one of those freeze-dried strawberries and just crush it in your fingers, it forms a great pink crumble on top. Some of those edible petals. So you can enjoy them whole, or better still, pop in your glass of champagne. Delicious. Who's not going to love the opportunity to have some boozy, adults-only gummy lollies? For this recipe and more, head to delicious.com.au.